Up next, we have the District of North Vancouver, who's been shaking things up in the municipal space. Please welcome John and Augustine to the stage presenting Breaking the Portal Paradigm, How MyDNV Reimagines Digital Services Delivery.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am John Moreau from the District of North Vancouver, or the DNV as we're known locally. I get that I probably look a bit like I need the grandkids to set the clock on my VCR, so I just wanted to start by reassuring you that I am in fact the district's digital service manager. I am here today with Augustin Boucher, who is a member of the digital services team, and he is also a very talented user experience designer. And we're here to share with you a bit of work we've been doing recently on a digital service portal. Just before I go there, for those of you who aren't aware, this is the very rough boundary of the District of North Vancouver. I drew this by hand, so if you work in GIS, please avert your eyes for a second. We are located directly across Burrard Inlet from the City of Vancouver, and along with the District of West Vancouver and the City of North Vancouver, we make up what's known as the North Shore. According to our most recent census data, our population is just under 90,000 people, and our organization employs roughly 650 staff. We are perhaps best known for our parks and outdoor recreation activities, and we are very privileged to be able to live, work, and play on the unceded territory of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. So, when I talk about a digital service portal, I'm talking about that magical place that exists just beyond your main website where your residents and your business owners can log in with one single username and one single password and manage all of their municipal business. So check their property tax balance, pay their utility bill, renew their dog license, apply for a business license, check the status of a permit application, and on and on. The list obviously is endless. So that sort of portal experience is something that we have been planning to adopt ourselves for quite some time. But as we started to dig in, we started to appreciate that that our thinking around it was sort of evolving a bit, and we started to move in a little bit of a different direction. So I just want to spend the next couple of minutes talking to you a little bit about how that thinking has evolved, and then I'm going to turn you over to Augustin for the interesting part, and he's going to walk you through some prototypes that we've been working on that I think nicely illustrate the kind of evolution that we're going through. So when I say that our thinking around digital service portals has been evolving, I don't mean that we're no longer interested in having our residents and business owners log in with a single username and password and do all the things. Rather, I think that what is evolving is our definition of all the things. So I think that it has sort of expanded as we've been learning. And so, you know, when we talk to most of our departments, the portal lines up beautifully with their business needs. So when we talk to finance of course wants people to be able to look up account balances and pay bills, which is portal. You know, we talk to the building department, they want people to be able to apply for permits, obviously, but also book inspections and pay invoices. So again, portal. Same with transportation, same with most departments. But then we got around to having a conversation with communications. And for obvious reasons, communications has quite different needs than sort of your typical transactions and payments and things like that. So when we talk to communications, they care about things like discovery. When somebody comes to the website to complete a transaction, is there the possibility that they can learn about a new initiative or a new project while they're there? You know, they care about transparency. Is the public aware of the decisions that council are making, and are they also aware of the process that has been followed to make that decision, and were they aware of when they had opportunities to be involved in that process? They care about engagement. Are we having a two-way conversation with our residents? And they really care about storytelling. Do we have opportunities to tell the public about the good work that we're doing? And so these were interesting learnings for us. They were quite a bit different, but we took it all back to the lab and we started to think about how that could work. So how could we deliver that sort of that classic service portal experience that supports all the businesses who need applications and payments and all of that, but also support communications need for storytelling, engagement, and transparency. So we started playing around with a bunch of ideas, and we thought, well, maybe we can pull a news feed into the landing page of the portal. Maybe we can add an event calendar in here. Maybe we can squish in these social media feeds. And, we tried all these things, but it was becoming pretty clear that all we were doing was taking a big piece of the main website and then duplicating it inside a portal, which for us didn't make a lot of sense. And so at the end of the day, we said, can a classic digital service portal experience support all of the business you need to do, as well as support the needs of communications? And the answer for us was no. So we did something a little bit different. Our experience is very creatively called MyDNV. You probably would not have thought of doing that for your own organization. And it's quite similar. So you still have a username and password, a single username and password, and you still have an account. And from that account, you can do all of your transactions and do all of your things. But rather than log into this separate portal, you're just logging into the website itself. It's kind of a subtle difference, but it makes an impact for a few reasons. So first off, it helps us keep visitors in the main website. So if the vast percentage of visits to your website are people who are coming to get something done, and they go off to a portal to do those things, then you're really limiting the number of people who are coming to your main website and the number of people who are interacting with that content, and reducing those opportunities to learn about other projects and initiatives they may not have known about. We're also bridging this gap between the information and the actions. And so what I mean by that is you'll often see in portals where the actual act of applying for, say, a building permit lives inside the portal. That's where the form is. But on the website, you have all the information about whether you need to apply, how to apply, what documents you need, what the process looks like. And so that it feels like an artificial divide for us. So by logging into the website itself, we can pull those applications in so that they live with all the rest of the relevant information. And then finally for us, the most important benefit of having people log directly into your website is that if your website knows who you are, where you live, what you're interested in, what you've done lately, not in the creepy way, but in the permission-based way, then you can deliver a much more customized content experience for your users. You can make sure that the website is delivering to them exactly the information they need, exactly when they need it. On top of that, it also gives us more opportunities to start pushing our information out. So if you talk to a member of your communications team, they will probably tell you that getting your messaging out to the public is getting increasingly more challenging. Community newspapers are failing every day. Social media is a dumpster fire. Engagement is way down. No one is paying attention anymore. And so this experience of logging into the website and capturing all the information allows us then to tell you when things you're interested in are happening and tell you directly, so we don't have to rely on these third-party things anymore. And so that's my side of the story, and now I'm going to turn you over to Augustin. He has a couple of cool prototypes he's going to walk you through, and then I'll do a quick wrap-up after that. That's it.
Thanks, John. And hello, everyone. So let's move on to the demo, where I'm going to show you what MyDNV currently looks like and what's coming next. So as John mentioned earlier, this first iteration of MyDNV focused on giving the public an easier and smoother access to content. So today, advisories, news, council documents, there is a lot of content that is regularly published on dnv.org, and these publications required the users to come visit dnv.org in order to get the most recent updates. This is why we built MyDNV as an MVP, so minimum viable product, keeping the user experience simple and setting aside more complex features for a later phase. Our main goal with this first MVP were to obviously let the users create an account, to allow interactions with the website, and to deliver instant and automatic email notifications. So after multiple rounds of testing, user research, we were able to launch this first version, which I'll walk you through right now. So, today you are Jane. Hi, Jane, and you are logged in on the homepage of dnv.org, where you can select your name here and access your MyDNV settings. Here, you can see that Jane has subscribed to a variety of dnv.org updates, so council documents, news, alerts. In this second tab, you can see that Jane is also able to watch specific pages, meaning that she will get a notification as soon as the page is updated. So for instance, right there, Jane is watching this specific development application. So she did this by pressing this button, watch this page, and she will get a notification the next time this page is updated with the public information meeting link or with new documents down there. Finally, scrolling up, Jane is able to bookmark pages all across the website, so meaning, well, it's just giving her a quick access to this page anywhere she is on the website and whatever the device, and she can add this page to her personal list that she can access from the navigation header and that she can manage from this third tab. All right, so we successfully launched this specific MVP1 in May 2025, and now we are moving into MVP2, which focuses this time on transactions and transparency. So this next update will include first notifications accessible directly on the website and not only by email. We will also have a more polished and responsive design, and most importantly, an access to your report a problem history and follow-ups. Just Report a Problem is our online tool for the public to quickly notify the district if there's an issue like potholes or graffitis. And today there is no real feedback given based on your submission. And thanks to MyDNV, we're going to have a system to track and monitor your report. All right, so this is my second demo, and so in this MVP2, you might notice we now have this little bell icon in the top right corner. Just as the bookmark button, it opens a modal, and it will show all your subscriptions and your recent updates. Now, if I press Jane's name, this time I get this little drop-down menu, starting with what's new, that also has all your recent updates for a better view. And my content right there, where Jane has access to all the features we had in MVP1. So she is still able to subscribe to content, she's still able to manage the pages she's watching, and also to see her bookmarks. We are introducing My Services with problem reports. And from here, Jane can track past submissions, like this little concern she had with bear or other wildlife attractants in her backyard, or in her neighbor's backyard, and she's able to see when it got resolved. All right, so looking ahead, this is just the beginning of our journey, and we plan to enhance the user experience with more quality of life features that will include personalized notices. So Jane gets, or you get, a reminder the next time it's the moment to renew your dog license or to pay your property taxes. We will also introduce location-based guidance. So in this very small example right here, you see that as you're visiting the Build a Coach House page, the website automatically tells Jane or yourself that your property isn't eligible for this type of structure. We will also think of topics of interest to help tailor the types of updates you might receive and expand more services. As John mentioned, we could think of managing your business license or see the history of permits you had for your house. We will also add pre-filled information. As the system already has your contact details, you won't need to type in your street address to get your collection schedule. You won't need to type all your information to, apply for something on the website. And one last thing I'd like to mention are personalized recommendations based on your location, the topics of interest I mentioned, and also your recent activity. In this example, you're visiting the OCP page, and let's say when you selected as a topic of interest environment, then at the bottom you get suggested articles, such as this one around the Urban Tree Canopy Festival. All right, so what's the technical stack behind MyDNV? I'm not going to get too technical here. However, we were a team of close to 10 people, and we worked through Jira around like 270 tickets. I also like to thank Simplicity, that not only is the CMS powering DNV.org, but also the platform that helped us automate those email notifications. And I'll also highlight Figma, the prototyping tool, where it all started with close to 10 mock-up iterations. And lastly, Azure, the cloud environment used to build the entire user account system. So, what is it looking like today, John?
What is it looking like today? Great question. Thanks for asking. So here's how it's going so far. So as Augustus said, that first iteration, that was very simple, focused slowly on content transparency, was launched on the 20th of May. We've had 1,465 people create MyDNV accounts so far. So when you consider that we're a population of 90,000, 1,400 is probably not super impressive, but for us, we're still in sort of the testing and experimenting phase, and so we're quite happy that we have this many people so far. I think it's an indication that we're moving in the right direction and that we're providing value that that the public are looking for. We also asked account users to rate their experience on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being poor and 5 being excellent, and we are ranking 4.2 out of 5. So we're quite happy with the reception so far. Lots of room to grow still, but I think we're in a great place here. So my bottom line is simply, are we here to say that if you have a classic portal, or you're working on a classic portal, or you're thinking of a classic portal, that you're doing it wrong? Absolutely not. I think this is all about what we think might work for us. And so this is the kind of experimenting we're doing. We're figuring it out as we go along. We're learning, we're changing. I might come back here in 2 years and say, yeah, well, that was a nightmare, and now we have a classic portal. So the answer is we just don't know yet, but we're trying to figure it out, and we're open to that experience. So if you would like to join us for that ride, you're welcome to connect with us either at work or through LinkedIn, and we will be reporting out as we launch future iterations and keep people updated on how things are going.